Hello everyone, I am Pinky and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. Before I begin, a happy Mother's Day to all the lovely mothers out there. The last week was very productive in terms of reading and I managed to complete 5 books. So without further ado, let's jump right into the books. The first book that I read was I Let You Go by Claire McIntosh. In this thriller, a mother's world collapses in an instant. Her young son slips from her grasp and is struck by a speeding car. The worst part, the driver doesn't stop. The mother is left holding her dying child. This story pulls you in right from the start by showing the accident through the eyes of the mother. You feel her heart break in real time, her world crumbling as her worst nightmare unfolds, and the crushing guilt of not being able to protect her son. But we don't just stay with her. The perspective then shifts to the detectives working the case, especially the lead investigator Ray, whose need for justice slowly erodes his personal life, straining his relationships and pulling him away from his family. The story has many layers. It is plot driven and the subplots are well crafted as well, adding nuance and emotional weight. That being said, I have to be honest, it didn't quite live up to the hype for me. Don't get me wrong, it's a solid book and there is a lot to appreciate. But I think I set my expectations a little too high going in. Maybe if I had read it closer to when it first came out, I would have been more impressed. It's still a well-written, emotionally resonant thriller and I gave it a 3.5 stars. The next thing that I read was the first volume of a popular manga series, Spy Family. Spy Family follows Twilight, a master spy who needs to create a fake family for an undercover mission. He ends up with Anya, a young girl who just so happens to be a telepath, and Yor, who is secretly a deadly assassin, though none of them know each other's true identities. What really makes Spy Family shine is its unique and intriguing premise paired with a super cool story that blends action, comedy and heartwarming family moments. The art style is fantastic, expressive and full of personality, and the characters so well developed, each with their own secrets, struggles and charm. Whether you're here for the espionage, the humor or the feels, Spy Family delivers on all fronts. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. The next book is Even If This Love Disappears Tonight. In this love story, when Toru Kamiya is pushed into pretending he likes Maori Hino, she surprises him with 3 strange conditions. If they're going to date, not to talk to her until after school, keep things short and to the point, and not fall in love for real. But of course, he does. And when he finally confesses his real feelings, Maori reveals the heartbreaking truth. She has a rare condition that wipes her memory every day. She doesn't remember anything unless she writes it down in her diary. What follows is a beautiful, quiet journey about connection, persistence, and love, built one day at a time. It is a story about family, friendship, and loss. It also explores how memories shape who we are and what it means to love someone even when every day is a new beginning. The writing is intentionally simple and accessible, making it an easy emotional read for just about anyone. I gave it a solid 4 stars. The next book that I read is a timeless classic, The Little Prince. It's one of those books that looks simple on the surface, but it hits you right in the soul if you really pay attention. At its core, The Little Prince is a story about childhood, imagination, and what we lose as we grow older. The narrator, a pilot stranded in the desert, meets a mysterious boy from another planet, the Little Prince, and through their conversations, we explore some deep philosophical themes. One of the main ideas in this book is the contrast between children and grown-ups. Grown-ups are often shown as people who have lost their imagination, obsessed with numbers, pride, greed, and what the book calls matters of consequence. They can't see what's truly important. Children, on the other hand, see with their hearts. They understand the value of friendship, the beauty of a simple sunset, or the uniqueness of a single rose. The heart of the story, however, lies in the relationships. The little prince's journey teaches him about love, responsibility, and what it means to care for someone. The pilot, meanwhile, through his connection with the little prince, realizes that the most important things in life aren't things at all, they are relationships. The Little Prince is one of those books that makes you pause. It reminds us to see the world with wonder, to treasure our friendships, and not to let our adulthood dull our sense of what really matters. I gave this book 5 stars. Last but not the least, I read the beautiful book The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse. If you're looking for a book that speaks to everyone, kids, adults, and everyone in between, this is it. It is a beautiful reminder of the power of kindness, hope, courage, and connection. This book gently encourages us to appreciate the little things, to love ourselves, and to not be afraid to ask for help. It also redefines what it means to be brave. Sometimes courage looks different than we expect. I read this book with a smile on my face, and I know for sure I'll return to it again and again. It's one of those stories that stays with you. Gave it a 5 out of 5 and highly recommend. And that's a wrap on this week's reads. Thanks for hanging out with me. Don't forget to let me know what you have been reading in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more bookish content. I'll see you next time with new stories to share. Until then, bye. Happy reading.